Where do we start? Welcome back. This is part 2 of level design in TF2. I am Uncooper, and last time I announced my plan for the 2017 summer TF2 Jam, Payload Wonderland. Well, the jam has come and gone, and I'd say I got the map to about a beta 1 standard, maybe. To some people, 72 hours sounds like a lot of time, but shit happens. People need to eat and sleep, and when sleep deprived, they make mistakes, or even get mad when they get killed during a playtest. Piss off, stop attacking me for half a second. Fucking hell. But the jam was 6 weeks ago. Am I happy with the result? Yeah, but I could have done a lot better, and I'm going to continue to work on the map in the future. I've been itching to redo last, but nevertheless, we're here to discuss level design, the theory behind layouts, detailing, and testing, so let's begin. Starting a map can be difficult. You want to plan something, but if you plan too much, it never works in game, and you'll inevitably be disappointed in the result. Just start with an idea and see where the brushwork takes you. A lot of my maps start with a basic idea for a route or a point, and I like the sound of a theme, so something in that architectural style. I rarely plan ahead further than I did for Wonderland. Some basic ideas, a theme, and a few pictures. You can see how some of these pictures helped with brushwork and theming. Another thing to take into consideration is game mode. Maybe you don't like payload maps and think they get something wrong, so make a payload map that does that thing different. Spend some time playing the game, looking at pictures, playing around at Hammer. Eventually you'll make something that seems fun, and your mind will just take it from there. So what does a map need? A map needs objectives. Objectives usually consist of an open area with a capture point and multiple flanks and an element of risk-reward. Making a good point is hard, but a good trick to refining a point is to look at every route to the point. Ask, what does an attacker get out of this route? What does a defender get out of this route? It could be both come here for health and ammo. It could be attackers come here to gain high ground. Could be spies use this to rotate undetected. But if that route isn't made with any intent, it often won't play well. Choke points are the elephant in the room. A choke point is punishable with brute force but encourages flanking more so. But if you pull a Cactus Canyon removed stage and have 0 flanks, people won't have fun. Attackers want to thin out the defense, and defenders just want to spam the tunnel with all the bad guys. But generally, choke points aren't intentional. It's more just dictative routes getting non-dictatively dicked on by engineers. Fuck engineers. Fuck you, Dane. I know you're watching. You heard my choke points. Pickups. We all love them. Pickups are the perfect incentive to a flank route. People aren't using this flank enough, I'll just put a medium health kit there and bam, everyone's using it. Just think about this medium on upward point 3. You'll give up high ground and risk falling to your death for a health kit and a risky walk back. But if you have too many health kits, no one dies. No reason for medics, no reason for dispensers. But then again, too few, and everyone dies to soldier and pyro. There's a reason they call it balance. Spawn rooms. Let's keep it sweet and brief. Minimum 3 doors for a spawn. There are cases for 2-door spawns, but let's just have it be 3. It helps fight spawn camping, so does not having health kits and routes near a spawn, but sometimes that's unavoidable. Each exit from a spawn room should give players opportunities, but not direct advantages. As for respawn travel time, anything over 20 to 25 seconds from spawn to a fight is too far. Sightlines are often forgotten about in Hammer, and then you test it with someone who is a god sniper, and you hate yourself for being such an ignorant human. How could you allow this tragedy? General rule of thumb is if you can't tell it's a sniper, it's too far away. If you can't see the sniper, something is wrong. Dark corners, flat ground, wide doorways all cause bad sightlines. I say fuck snipers, they don't need any more help. But it's important to keep in mind diagonal sightlines when working in Hammer. It's easy to get caught up in the grid, but 1 degree off from that grid and you got a nasty sightline. Scale is something that is learned and felt better than it can be taught. But here are some basic numbers that won't mean anything until you use it. Your character is around 76 hammer units tall. And the doorway is usually 128 hammer units tall. And your character takes fall damage past 256 hammer units high drop. Walls can be anywhere from 8 to 32 hammer units thick. I tend to stick to 16 for dev brushwork. A point is anywhere from 368 squared to 124 hammer units squared, but it comes down to how it plays and how it feels. Too big or too small and no one caps. If no one caps, your game takes forever, and then people get off their computer and rethink their life. Don't make people make mistakes. Floors 16 hammer units thick. And lastly, clipping. The unsung hero of mapping. For the non-mappers, clipping is the invisible walls all throughout the map. Clipping is used to not only block off non-gameplay areas like roofs and out of bounds, but also to make the map more easily traversed. Stairs, for example. Without clipping, you get this horrid head bob, but if you put down a clip brush, bam, smooth as a baby's bottom. Getting your TF2 map tested is easy as, but getting feedback is harder. The worst way to get feedback is in the comments through TF2 maps. It's a great way to remind yourself of issues, but you can't get enough information out of it to refine a map. The next best way is to watch. Download the demo file from the website, open it up in TF2 and grab a coffee. Watching people play your map is the most humbling and frustrating thing you'll ever experience. Hearing people complain about there not being another route when there is another route will make you pull your hair out. And finally, the best way to test your map is to play it. As an Australian, this is hard because we don't do Aussie tests and playing on 250 to 350 ping is fucking hell. But playing on your own map with your friends is so much fun. It will show you more of your map's issues than demos or feedback ever will. The most fun part of making Wonderland was playing with the stream audience. Maybe, but they're not really meant to hold that area. Come back! Come back, Scootsy! Scootsy, no! Scootsy! Oh!
Silence for Scootsy.
Hardcore! Yelling's funny, right? Look at all these people.
What is there?
I'm watching four engineers. I'm watching 4 engineers and a pyro try to protect one telly engine.
Alright, I'm saving it as well.
So you've tested your map, gotten feedback, but how do you take that feedback and turn it into positive change? Taking on feedback takes a level of maturity and critical thought that I don't possess. I screamed when I got killed during a playtest. Piss off, stop attacking me for half a second. Fucking hell. Break down every criticism. Is more than one person having this issue? Are people congested in one area? Why are they only using one doorway? If defenders couldn't access this ledge as easy, how would that affect the fight? Bit by bit, you'll work down the issues and make the map more fun. For instance, on Wonderland, this indoor route became the favoured route for attackers because it's the fastest. But because this route is so enclosed and respawning defenders don't have to travel as far, it became a meat grinder. My first solution was to just and wall it up. But that was a bad move. It meant that this ramp was the only way into third and last. 2 NGs pincering this ramp and no one could push it. The next solution was much better. Reopen this wall, but make this doorway, often travelled by attackers, a one-way door. This means if they want to retreat, they remain in the fight and then can use the main ramp. This has the added bonus of leading attackers to the cart track, which should always be the purpose of a route on a payload map. Another example of taking feedback and making change was the forward spawns for blue. They start in the manor, cap first and begin spawning in the ice cave. And then they would cap second and begin spawning in the church. But this was bad news because either A, attackers overwhelm the defenders on third, or B, defenders easily push attackers back to the spawn door. The solution was simple. When second is captured, make blue respawn quicker, and then when third is captured, then put them in the church. It encourages teleporters much like Barn Blitz forward spawn, and makes spawn camping blue nearly impossible. Ideally there'd be another forward spawn, but 4 spawns for one team is just stupid, and this works for now. So the map works, plays well, we're done here, right? Nope, still ugly. Dev textures can look good in a minimalistic sense, but this is TF2. Gotta make your map look like it fits in TF2 world. So you might be asking, why not just make it pretty from the beginning? The answer is laziness, or efficiency. Dev textures are great for quick mapping. No need to spend 2 minutes finding the right texture. Just stick a 50% reflectivity on everything, and before releasing Alpha version 1, change all the floors to either 30% reflectivity or a team-specific colored texture. This means if something needs changing down the line, you only need to select one texture. It's a lot easier than fiddling with like 5 different textures. It also means you can see a boring map go from this to this. All pretty. Detailing is a long but fun process. You turn empty, pointless rooms and corridors into a real location with purpose. You turn an endless void into a world that stretches into the horizon. Everyone has a different process for detailing. I myself have only detailed one map so far, but it's a lot of fun. But you can't detail an untested map and have it play well. You can't detail a map with zero theory and have it play well. It takes time, it takes passion, it takes patience to plan and build, to test and iterate, to make it look as awesome as it plays. Making a map isn't easy, but it's so rewarding. If you want to start mapping, here's how. Go to tf2maps.net, sign up and join the discussion. Watch Crash's easy mapping tutorials, link is in the description. Join the TF2 Maps Steam group and help test maps. Go crazy. Go make maps. I want to give a quick shout out to a few people. I want to give a quick shout out to Red Robot, to Levi, to Ninjord, to Max Scratch, to Crash, to Dave Killerish, or is it Dave Killerfish, you fishy bastard? Also want to give a shout out to everyone that has come and subscribed for these dumb video essay things. There's going to be more on the way. Check out my gameplay videos. I make DayZ story, comedy thing kind of videos, and also cinematic videos. I make Overwatch and GTA and Battlegrounds, like fun moment videos. I've got a lot of shit that you might like. Alright? Just don't ignore me.